sapatos na gaganyan pagka hindi mo talaga ginamit na.
Great to see you all here, and so early. We're assembling from 12:30, and then we're going to march down at 1 to Camden town, where we're going to meet Camden Valentine's Solidarity Campaign. We're from President Harrow Valentine's Solidarity Campaign, and we're going to then meet them at Camden town and march down to Washington Square, where we will have a rally with quite a number of speakers, including Andrew Feinstein. Just a polite request that if you move inside or outside of the pavement to allow people to pass by to and from the tube station, that would be great. Thanks. kill.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
where we're going to have a run. So if this race gets a bit crowded at this point, it will. I ask everybody if you have to move across the road and wait there, because we don't want to block access to ways of contacting us, including by email. Thanks.
have to pull over to the side to let them pass. Pull it to the left, you've got to let them pass.
Palestine will over to your left into the spaces and off the road, please. So move over to your left into this space here and off the road if you can.
Brothers and sisters, we are now in Monitor Crescent. The building over there houses the offices of Keir Starmer and Tulip Siddiq, the two members of Parliament for Camden. They both refuse to call for a genocide. They are both complicit. They are both complicit with the British government, with the genocide, with Israel's genocide of the Palestinian people in Gaza. We are here to protest against British complicity. We are here to protest against the pretense that the Oslo process can bring peace to the Palestinians. The Oslo process, the so-called peace process, has done nothing for Palestinians. It has been an excuse for Israel to keep colonizing the West Bank. And the British government and the British opposition have been complicit with this scandal.
Shame!
Shame on them!
Shame on them! Stand back!
Free, free Palestine!
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 From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
The first speaker today is my friend Sabi Sagal, the chair of the Camden branch of the Palestine Solidarity Campaign. Here is Sabi.
Thank you, Luca. Thank you, everybody, for turning out today in this magnificent show of solidarity with the Palestinian people in Gaza and the occupied West Bank. I was actually a bit worried. I thought, well, maybe we won't get such a big crowd today, just after Christmas, and we all know about demo fatigue, but this is a magnificent turnout. So thank you all for being here today. And I imagine that people have congregated today to show their support for Palestine, because Israel has been intensifying its attack on Gaza in a brutal campaign to expel the Palestinian people from their homeland and complete the ethnic cleansing that was begun in 1948 and continued in 1967. And we know that the South African government has now referred Israel to the International Court of Justice for a possible indictment of genocide, or at least genocidal intent. And this is a most welcome development on the part of a government that overthrew its own apartheid regime 20 odd years ago. Now, the Israeli liberal journalist Gideon Levy has explained the Hamas attack of October the 7th in the light of everything the Palestinians have suffered in the last 75 years from Israel. Okay. Yeah. And okay, we can reject Hamas as a terrorist organization, However, they had a good teacher. They learned what they did from the terrorist state of Israel that has been terrorizing the Palestinian people for 75 years. So the question that I ask as a Jew, as a Jewish supporter of Palestine, is Israel a safe haven for Jews? In fact, if you look at the figures, since 1945, since the end of the Second World War, more Jews have died in Israel for one reason or another than in any other country in the world. That is hardly a safe haven. So we know Jews have been terribly persecuted in Europe in the 19th and 20th centuries. However, I have to say that as a Jew, I support the Palestinian people. The Palestinian people are not responsible for the persecution that the Jews experienced in the 19th and 20th century. So once again, thank you all for coming. And let's once again express our total support for the Palestinian people fighting the terrorist state of Israel in Gaza and the occupied territories. Be free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! The next speaker is Andrew Murray, the Vice President of Stop the War. Please welcome Andrew.
Thank you, and it's great to see so many of you out here today. We have a responsibility. I was told something quite sobering yesterday, and that was that recently Mustafa Barghouti, one of the leaders of the Palestinian people, had said that in this worldwide movement of solidarity with the Palestinians, no movement is more important than the one we have built in Britain. It is here that the genocide, the political support for the genocide can and must be broken. And we have no doubt that a genocide is what is happening. We can see it in the dead babies in their incubators. We can see it in the children being dragged out of the rubble of their homes. We can see it in the Palestinians being tortured to death on the West Bank. And we can hear it from the mouths of the Israeli politicians. The one who said it would be fine if there's only 100,000 Palestinians in Gaza rather than 2 million. And we can see it in the devastation which is making Gaza unlivable in the foreseeable future. This is a genocide by murder and ethnic cleansing, and we have to call it that. And let me salute the South African government for calling it out and taking Israel to the International Court of Justice. Now, some people say that we, British government and the American government, are ignoring the genocide, are permitting it. That is too passive. Our government is arming the genocide. It is politically supporting the genocide. It is diplomatically covering the genocide. And what goes for the government goes for the people that work in that building behind us, Keir Starmer and Tulip Siddiqui. And on the subject of diplomacy, can I just ask, how much longer do we have to put up with Sipi Hotel-Bailey living and working in Britain, the racist Israeli ambassador who goes on television and says from the river to the sea, Palestine must be Israel, who says that every second home in Gaza is a target for the Israeli armed forces? We need to run this racist out of town and out of our country. And brothers and sisters, bad as it is, it could get worse. Our rulers are flinging fire into the Middle East. The war could expand into Lebanon at any moment. Israel is conducting assaults on Beirut, and an Israeli minister has said publicly, we should do to Beirut what we are doing to Gaza. In the Red Sea, the British and American fleets are already firing at the Houthis, at the people in Yemen, which has suffered enough. This is the policy of imperialism, and if this war widens, it is widening because of the failure to stop what Israel is doing in Gaza, and the blood of this war will be on the hands of our government and the American government as well. This is a policy that has destroyed Iraq, it has destroyed Syria, it has destroyed Libya, it has destroyed Yemen, and imperialism is the enemy, and we have to bring it to an end. And imperialism is supported by the likes of Keir Starmer. We need to say to him and to Tulip Siddiqui, no ceasefire, no vote. We cannot and will not support a Labour leader that is betraying all the best values of the Labour movement in this country. He was talking this week about Project Hope, that he stands for hope. There is no hope in genocide. Project Hope is this movement standing for peace and for justice. And we have to keep this movement at boiling point. We cannot let Mustafa Barghouti down. Next Saturday is a global day of action for Palestine. Our demonstration, because the eyes of the world will be on London, must be the biggest we have ever had. We have to show that Britain stands with Palestine, that we keep on standing with Palestine, and if people say it is a hate march, it is right to hate injustice. It is right to hate oppression. It is right to hate genocide and imperialism. We should embrace that hatred because it represents love of humanity. So let's turn out next Saturday as never before and keep marching for ceasefire now. Free Palestine. Stop the wars. Thank you.
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
That was Andrew Murray, Vice President of Stop the War. Thank you, Andrew, for a very inspiring speech. Thank you. Also, Andrew's daughter is a friend of mine. The next speaker is Jonathan Flaxman, a retired GP, and he speaks for health workers for Palestine. But before giving him the microphone, let me remind you there is plenty of space at the back of the statue, and you can hear better if you stand there. Jonathan.
Thank you very much. Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I'm speaking on behalf of IJAN. The banner's right behind me. Very pleased to do so. I'm obviously Jewish. I'm also a retired GP. I thought I would just tell people a little bit about what's happened in the health sector in Gaza and in Palestine. Many people will know. But what I did last night is I went online and wrote down, just doing Google searches and so on, what the Israelis have done to the health service in Palestine and in Gaza in particular. 23 out of 36 hospitals have been destroyed. There's no functioning health service in northern Gaza. Shame. You know, hospitals are really important at a time of war, because what we doctors, nurses and other healthcare workers can do, we can help people who've been traumatized by wounds and injuries and so on. We're quite good at that. We're not so good at managing chronic disease. And by destroying the hospitals, people who are injured, who could be saved, will die slow, painful deaths.
And also, of course, they're destroying the hospitals in order to make Gaza uninhabitable. We know that. It's part of the ethnic cleansing. 500 people were bombed and murdered in the grounds of Al-Orda Hospital in mid-October. Remember that? And they blamed a Hamas rocket. But what happened, if you listen to the Palestinians, Dr. Abu Sitta said he was in the hospital when it happened. 2 days before, the Israelis phoned up the hospital director and said, move out or we're going to bomb the hospital. They didn't go. How could they go? How could they abandon their patients? So what did? They bombed right next to the hospital the following day. They phoned the administrator again and they said, move out or we're going to bomb you. Obviously they didn't move out, so the next day they bombed the hospital and murdered 500 people.
Shame on them, shame.
What we know is at least 340 healthcare workers have died in Gaza. There's a deliberate campaign against healthcare workers. Hundreds have been abducted. The directors of Al-Shifa Hospital and 2 other major hospitals have been imprisoned and are being tortured. What they've been charged with? Oh, because Hamas has a command and control center under the hospitals. Absolute rubbish. We know that's rubbish. They are firing shells directly into hospitals. There are snipers outside hospitals, killing patients, killing healthcare workers. The maternity hospital, the Nasser Medical Complex in Khan Yunis has been under siege for days and days and days. Hundreds have been killed. Oops. Sorry about that. A spokesman for the Gaza Ministry of Health said patients are injured and those who took shelter in the hospital are gripped with fear and overwhelmed with horror. Of course they are. We know that. And did you hear about the bulldozer in the grounds of Kamal Adwan Hospital? There were 20 or more patients in tents in the courtyard of the hospital. One of these huge military D9 bulldozers just drove over them and ground 20 people into the earth, living humans with a bulldozer. This is what these monsters are capable of. In Al-Shifa Hospital, 5 premature babies and 20 patients in ICU died. Why? Because there's no power for the ICU equipment, for the ventilators and incubators. Al-Nasser Children's Hospital, 5 premature babies were left because they drove the staff out of the hospital in early November. 3 weeks later, when there was the pause, people were allowed back into the area, and what did they find? The decomposing bodies of those 5 precious babies. Sorry, just give me a minute. Did you hear about the letter that nearly 100 Israeli doctors signed, calling themselves Doctors for the Rights of IDF Soldiers? What did they do in their letter? They said the residents of Gaza who saw fit to turn the hospitals into terrorist nests in an attempt to take advantage of Western morality are the ones who brought their annihilation upon themselves. These are doctors talking.
Disgusting stuff.
Attacking terrorist headquarters located inside of a hospital is the right of the IDF and its duty. These are doctors openly calling for war crimes to be committed. What did the Israeli Medical Association say? Oh, we support the rights, we support humanity, and we're against things like this. Did they criticize these doctors, let alone suspend them or expel them? No, these doctors are still working. Today they are working.
Expel them!
For decades, Israeli doctors have been implicated in complicity in torture. We know torture goes on all the time in Israeli prisons. And we saw it very graphically during the so-called humanitarian pause when the Palestinian prisoners were released. They all spoke about the abuse and torture that they were subjected to. And just a couple more points. I just wanted to say something about the munitions, the arms that the IDF were using. About half the bombs that have been dropped are so-called dirty bombs, right? They're not targeted. So they drop them out of the planes and they fall kind of approximately in the area that they're going for. We know Gaza is one of the most packed, concentrated places on earth in terms of people in that tiny little space. They're also using these huge 1,000-kilogram bombs, right? I looked this up last night. The kill zone is 365 meters around the explosion site of the bomb. The US dropped one of these bombs against its war on ISIS. In 1 month, Israel dropped 500 of them. When they attacked the Jabalia refugee camp, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these bombs on an area the size of half of where we are around here in Camden. Why did they do it? Oh, they were going for a Hamas commander. Absolutely extraordinary. I'll finish. Lastly, there's stories of the harvesting of organs from dead Palestinians by the Israelis. Yes. Right?
Yes.
The last thing I want to say, our friend Wes Streeting, what has he said? He wants to introduce and get into the NHS a company called Health.io, which is an Israeli firm affiliated to the IDF. So his privatization agenda extends to a welcome to firms linked with the Israeli Defense Force. Sorry, final thing I want to say to Keir Starmer. You know, a previous leader of your party, Ed Miliband, in 2013, said no to the invasion and attacking of Syria. I'm sure people remember that. They lost the vote in the House of Commons, the Tory government. And what happened? The UK couldn't support that intervention, and then the Americans stopped, and it didn't happen. So when you take a stand, even in opposition, you can make a big difference. So thank you everyone for coming. It's so important we keep this up, and let's continue to do what we do. From the river to the sea. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. That was Jonathan Flaxman from Health Workers to Palestine. Israel is a terrorist state. The next speaker. We charge you with genocide. The next speaker is Nandita Dawson from the Camden Abu Dhabi Friendship Association.
Hi, thank you, and shame on Keir Starmer, and shame on all of our politicians, and shame on the world that is letting the most disgusting thing, shame. I'm from Cadfa, based at Cafe Palestina. I won't be long. I think you've got other speakers. I want to just put a couple of points that maybe other people haven't done. Maybe you have, in which case, sorry. One is, what is happening in Gaza is beyond horrifying, and I'm sure people have been speaking about that. I couldn't hear from the back, sorry. We've had a friendship link to Abu Dhabi in the West Bank for 20 years now. And I would like to say we have a meeting every Wednesday called Let's Talk About Palestine. We have somebody on Zoom from Palestine every week. It's going to be a woman this week who I know well and who really wants to speak, so do come along and hear. Last week we had a teacher from Jenin camp. He showed us pictures which honestly, they were just of a part of Jenin camp. They looked like some pictures of parts of Gaza. They have been so much attacked. He said that 90% of the people, this I didn't know at all, he said 90% of the people in Jenin camp have now left and are having to find places to live in, villages and places they can afford to live in outside because not only are they losing their homes, being attacked, it's dangerous for kids to go to school, but the basic infrastructure just keeps being destroyed. He showed how they had actually, after the 2002 horrendous attacks, had really good sewage system built that's been bombed and destroyed. And anyhow, what's going on in the West Bank is absolutely terrifying. Numbers of prisoners, numbers of people being killed, the fact that people feel trapped, people feel very scared, and the person who's going to come and speak next week, Abir, got in touch with me because she said they're trying to push people out of Gaza, but we're next in the West Bank. So it's about Palestine as a whole. So to tell you that we have these meetings on Wednesdays, they're really open, really positive. We're thinking quite carefully about, and people having lots of different ideas about things that can be done in Camden. It's great that so many organisations are involved and people are involved and things are happening all over the place. More can happen. We're hoping to get a real campaign to Camden Council for a ceasefire vote. We urge you to write to your councillors. We've got one councillor who said yes, we need 2 for a motion. We need a campaign regardless of whether there's a motion. So we'd like you to be involved in that. And I think that is probably about it. Thank you. Oh no, it isn't. I'm so sorry. Can I say one?
Where are you based? Where is Camden?
All right, we're based at Cafe Palestina, which is in between Kentish Town and Tufnell Park, very easy to get to. And the one thing I'd forgotten, very sorry, and just very briefly, is one of the things that CADFA's been doing for years is organising visits between Palestine and here, and visits of Palestinians, for obvious reasons, are really, really important. We were going to have a visit of young people from Palestine in October. We obviously couldn't. We postponed it to just about now, in January. We decided we can't. We've pushed it back as far as we can to allow for their visas, which is the end of Feb, beginning of March. So please look out for that. If you're interested in helping in any way with it, let us know. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Nandita, from the Camden Abu Dhabi Friendship Association. The next speaker is Liz Wheatley from Unison, from Camden Unison. Liz.
Thanks, Luca. And thanks, everybody, for turning out yet again. Quite right that we keep taking to the streets, and that we must keep taking to the streets until this is over. Because we know it makes a difference, doesn't it? If we protest, if we turn out, it sends a really clear message to our rulers. It also sends a really clear message to Keir Starmer, who I'll come back to in a minute. But it sends a really clear message that we do not agree with them. We do not agree with them supporting the genocide that is taking place in Gaza. Now, I'm the branch secretary of the local trade union here. People often say, why is the trade union involved in this? And actually, it's really important. There are many, many reasons why we are involved in this. But really, I think the job of a trade union is to stand with the oppressed. It is to stand with the people who are fighting for liberation and the people who are the underdogs in society, and to fight for their rights. And that's why we keep taking to the streets as well, with our members and our union banner. And we've been on every single march, actually, and we will continue to be on every single march. And we have a workplace day of action on the 7th of February. We'll be looking for what we can do in our workplaces as well. Nandita was absolutely right a few minutes ago to talk about the West Bank as well as Gaza, by the way. Clearly, all eyes are on Gaza at the moment. Never before have we seen a genocide like this taking place in front of our eyes, on our screens, on our phones, and all the rest of it. But it's clear that the West Bank is part of the project as well, and so we have to make sure that we fight for their rights too. Now, quite rightly, people have talked about Keir Starmer because he is one of the few people who is not calling for a ceasefire. When Oxfam is calling for a ceasefire, why can't the leader of the Labour Party here? It's really, really disgusting, and he needs to know that if he won't call for a ceasefire, he cannot count on our votes. This is a really, really important point to make. Again, people always associate Labour with the underdog, the oppressed. the people who are at the bottom in society, because we know that the Tories are about the rich and the bosses. We know that they are some of the worst arms dealers in the world, but we expect better from Labour. That's the point, and that's why it matters so much that we keep holding them to account, that we do march to his offices and his surgery, that we do actually write to him. You know, it can seem like a small thing, but he needs to feel that his constituents oppose his position on this as well. I think one last thing before I finish as well. The other reason why it's important for trade unions to be involved in this is it is the same people who are sending the arms, who are making money out of the arms, who are supporting the genocide in Gaza, who then turn around and tell us that there is no money for our schools, there is no money for our health service, there is no money to put into the public sector, there is no money for people to have decent wages and decent standards of living here. That is not true. There is plenty of money, it's their decisions about where they use it. And again, we, as the working class in this country, have to turn around and say our money cannot be used for war, it cannot be used for genocide, it should be used so that people, working people around the world, have a decent standard of living, can live in peace and security. And that's why trade unions involved in this. Thanks.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Liz. Liz Wheatley from Camden Unison. Thank you. And just to remind you, we are here to protest against British complicity. But let me remind you, this is an international movement. People all over the world are protesting against Israel's action. It's not only Britain that is complicit. Many other countries are also complicit. Italy as well. The next speaker is Pete Firmin from Brenton Harrow PSC.
Thanks, Luca. Well, I'm wearing two hats. One, I'm Vice Chair of Britain Trades Council, and as Liz just said, the issue of Gaza, Palestine, is a crucial one for trade unions. Workers around the world are trying to block arms sales to Israel. People are blockading here and elsewhere factories that send arms to Israel. We need to support that action. We need to step it up. We need to put pressure on our unions to do more around Palestine, Gaza. Most of our unions nationally support the Palestine Solidarity Campaign, but they haven't been putting out anything encouraging members to go on the demonstrations. Everybody who's involved in the trade union needs to be pushing that happens. The trade unions are more visible, more active, more numbers on every national demonstration. The second hat I'm wearing, until I was expelled from the Labour Party, I was at one time chair of Tulip Siddique's constituency Labour Party. Tulip has a record on this. It's said that October the 7th wasn't the start, but it certainly wasn't the start for Tulip. When Israel was killing people in Gaza during the March to Return, Tulip did not speak out when we were accused of anti-Semitism for supporting the Palestinians, just as she doesn't speak out now for ceasefire. The other thing about Tulip, maybe not everybody realises, Tulip is a Bangladeshi heritage. Bangladesh has elections this weekend. Tulip's aunt is the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. Tulip has never spoken out against abuse of human rights in Bangladesh, just as she never speaks out about what's happening in Palestine and Gaza. We need to put pressure on every single Labour MP and every Tory MP for that matter to support a ceasefire. Tulip tells us, when we write to her to support a ceasefire, well, it wouldn't achieve anything if she voted for a ceasefire. Well, of course, it would if she pressures the whole of the Labour Party, she pressures the government, she pressures unions, everybody else to support a ceasefire. If South Africa wins in the International Criminal Court of Justice this week, then that puts immense pressure on Israel to bring a ceasefire. So it's not just about one individual vote, it's about what that vote means in putting pressure worldwide. And it's not just about ceasefire. She says, well, you know, what happens after a ceasefire? Well, we argue, disband the settlements, stop sending Israel arms. knock down the wall. If you're serious about civil rights and everything else in Palestine, then you support a free Palestine from the river to the sea. Rights for everybody, and that means every MP should be supporting that call. You have to be some kind of monster to not realise the horrors that are going on in Gaza that Jonathan outlined before. Even humanitarian grounds, you call for a ceasefire, let alone support for the Palestinians. Thank you.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Pete. Thank you. Our next speaker is Helena Aksentovich. Helena.
Hi there, I'm from Camden PSC. I'm also a Camden resident, and I don't know about you guys, but I am disgusted with Keir Starmer. We need to tell him that the people of Camden support Palestine. We do not support genocide and ethnic cleansing. We support the Palestinians in having a free state with equal rights for everybody. And I'm afraid, Keir Starmer, this constituent will not be voting for you. Guys, thank you, yeah, exactly, no ceasefire, no vote. I was looking on the internet, I was checking the other day, and I found out that in the Second World War, there were 75,000 British citizens killed. That's in the whole war. Since October, over 21,000 Palestinians have been slaughtered, 11,000 of them children. We can't be complicit in this sort of genocide. We have to stand up and tell everybody that we do not accept it. Free Palestine!
Free Palestine! Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! The next...
You can hide!
We charge you with genocide!
Starmer, you can hide!
We charge you with genocide!
The next speaker is Andrew Feinstein, that used to be a member of the South African Parliament. Andrew.
Thank you, comrades. I'm extremely proud to be speaking at this meeting today. Not only because I'm a resident of Camden and it's so great to see so many people from our borough out here telling Keir Starmer exactly what we think of him. But there's another reason. As a number of speakers have said, this week Israel will be in the dock. And why is it that South Africa have filed this case against Israel